Daily Broadside Day 501. Stopped by a friend of mine's house this morning and see how she was doing. And she mentioned that she had been out the night before at a flower arrangement class with a friend of hers. And I was like, I just stared at her like she had three heads, just in disbelief that that's even a thing, right? And I was waiting for the punchline. I'm like, what's the deal? Because that can't be an actual course that you can go. She's, oh yeah. And she starts showing me this arrangement that she'd made. I said, how long were you in this class? She's like, I was like 3 hours. And I'm like, and this is what you made? It took you that long to put this crap in a vase, Oh, it's more than that. And blah, blah, blah. And I cut her off immediately. I said, look, that's not really a skill that anybody needs to be bragging about. I mean, that's pretty and all, but only because the vase is pretty. Whoever blew that glass is good. That makes it pretty. And the fact that you didn't pick just one color makes it pretty. So it's multicolored and it's a cool vase. That's what makes it cool. Because I could go out and get some begonias and some azaleas and some forget-me-nots and shove some baby's breath in between it and say, la la la, How hard could that be? Women, y'all crazy what y'all consider like a hobby. I don't know if that's really a hobby. It's a hobby. I don't know if that's a skilled hobby, all right? And while we're talking about skill, let's talk about UPS drivers, all right? And I got no problem with them making $42 an hour to drive their little hot trucks around with no AC and deliver packages. In fact, I would argue that, you don't really see a lot of fat, overweight, out of shape UPS guys, because by virtue of the fact that they do what they do, as long as they do it, in the day, 10, 12, 14 hour or whatever, delivering 2,000 packages a week, up to 50, 60 pounds. I don't know how heavy those things go, but that's a good physical workout. It's like a CrossFit workout and a job at the same time, really. Like a really lightweight CrossFit workout. The kettlebells mostly weigh like 11 pounds. 2 pounds, 4 pounds, 6 pounds, occasionally a 45, whatever. But here's the thing, right? I got no problem with them making what they make. Make all you want. Pay them $180, but first of all, that is not a skilled job, okay? That's not skilled labor. I don't care what anybody says. Yes, they drive, but they don't even have manual transmissions in those things. I mean, you just put it in park or put it in drive and head on, right? And secondly, what pisses me off the most about it is the fact that they're going to up their pay, and that's great for them, but it's not like the company's going to eat that. They're going to pass it on to me and you. So now shipping costs go up, and it costs me even more to ship something across this fine country of ours. That's what annoys me. If they kept it in-house and they're like, look, man, we made $13 billion in profit last year. We'll absorb that. We'll give, $4 billion back to our workers and up their pay and keep all the rates of shipping and everything the same. Then I'd be totally cool with it, man. Pay until the moon, but that's not what will happen. It's just like everything else. If a city gets sued and some employee does something negligent and the city has to, pay out something, the taxpayer pays that. It's not like that employee does anything about it. So, it's always passed on to the end user, and that's you and I. And while we're speaking of, I think I just said something about, out of shape people and whatnot. I saw this thing this morning, and it said at the top it had something to do with my 600-pound life. And I don't know why that is such a fascinating thing to watch, but it's a train wreck. It's an absolute train wreck that I just have a hard time turning off. And it repulses me on every physical level that there is. I don't understand, like, people that get to be that big are the weakest of all weak people, quite frankly, because they don't have the self-control to make their body do what they want it to do. Like, I don't know. I can't wrap my head around that, right? And so what I saw this morning was like these 5 or 6 women call themselves the heavy hitters. They come out and they're having like a little luncheon on the patio and all this. And there's like, 5 or 6 of them. And I don't know if they're 600 pounds. It's kind of hard at that point to really, weigh them mentally and all. But they're at least 450 to 500. No doubt about it. They're up there. Their arms have got those like layers when they lift it. It's just gross, right? And they're out there eating this brunch of like chicken and all kinds of crap they shouldn't be eating. And, they're all supportive of one another. Everybody's, oh, girl, I'm so strong and you so strong and we're so strong. The only thing supportive out there was the patio stones of supporting all that damn weight from that luncheon. But they're out there talking about it. And then I go to the comments to kind of gauge the climate in the comments, and it's all just, you go girl, man, y'all look so lovely, you doing you, and everything's just positive. Not one thing, not one person saying anything like, so just screw heart disease, I guess. Nothing like that, right? And which can only tell me that they've been removed. Those comments have been removed because we want this body positivity horse shit to be shoved down everybody's throat, to where everybody's 7-year-old weighs 172 pounds, and that's just normal because he just likes to eat. He doesn't like to eat. Guess what I didn't get to do when I was a kid? Pick the groceries. About the only thing I got to pick was what kind of cereal I wanted. That's about it. Everything else we ate. Like, it was a surprise when you came to dinner because you're like, oh, I guess that we're having this tonight. All right. I guess if I want to eat, this is what I'll have. This is my portion. All righty. And here I am at 47 and 187 pounds, and I'm not 480 having a luncheon with 4 of my other big heavy hitter friends. I don't understand why, we're just turning this country into, oh, it's okay to be big and beautiful and blah, blah, blah. No, it's not. You're just creating a calamity for you and yours and all this. You got to have enablers and everything. And it's not like these women were very tall either. I mean, they're short, squatty, getting, running. If I have to catch my breath and I'm out of breath from walking across my house, or waddling, I should say, there's a problem. There's a large problem there. I have an issue with that on so many levels, And here's what I love about the internet. I woke up yesterday morning, and for whatever reason, I started thinking about something I saw. I knew it was in like the early 80s, and all I knew was there was some concrete, like really brutalist architecture type buildings, and it rained constantly, and the kids weren't allowed to go outside and look at the sun. That's all I remembered, right? So I typed in some rudimentary thing into Google. I was like, what was that show or movie or it seems like it was a TV show. Like, I remembered it being some kind of like, afternoon, children's television, whatever. And I typed in something like 80s TV show, kids can't see sun raining all the time, or, something so stupid. It wasn't 2.1 milliseconds that they had. Oh, it's all summer in a day or something like it. It was a Ray Bradbury, like 1954 something short story or book or something. I think it was a short story, and it was turned into a 1982 like 30-minute little TV show. And it was basically that. I didn't know it was on Venus, but they're on Venus, and it's only the sun only comes out once a day, or one day every 7 years. Okay. And there was this girl named Margot who was from Earth, who had grown up enough. They're all like 12, 13-year-old girls. And she had grown up enough that she had lived with the sun. So she knew all about it. She talked about it and everything. So all the other girls like locked her in a closet on the day that the sun came out, and she didn't get to see it. And they brought her flowers. And then they realized from the beauty of what they'd seen that all that time Margot had been telling the truth, and they felt bad that they locked her in a closet, and it was going to be 7 more years before she saw it again. I got to tell you, the internet's a brilliant thing. It really knows. It knows just about everything, and it's mildly scary. Have a salad for dinner, maybe some salmon. Giddy.